sorry for coming to the stream a little bit late. When I was streaming at work, I was like, nah, I look too dark. So I had to come back home and try to stream. So this is what we got. Um, hopefully you guys can join a little bit later. So this is going to be Jafel Filio versus Allan Nascimento. My goodness, this flu is trying to just murder me. Let's take a look at Allan Nascimento first, and let's basically digest or dissect. Yes, and then this flu is not gonna take away my sense of humor. So let's dissect Allan Nascimento. So Allan Nascimento lost to Tagir Ulanbek via split decision. I mean, that's not too bad of a loss, to be honest. Um, it's not too bad of a loss, especially a split decision. I mean, a split decision is not too bad against the anyone who trains with the Habib team, you know. And then he won against the Jake Hadley. I think that was a good win. Not great, but I'd say a good win. And then he went on to beat is it Carlos Hernandez? Let me actually check and verify before I call him the wrong name. But I think it's Carlos Hernandez. This internet is just working. I don't know why it's doing this. Yes, it's Carlos Hernandez. I think that's a pretty decent win, to be honest. It's not the greatest win, but I think it's a pretty decent win. Um, Now I'm a little bit worried that I didn't pick him, but I'll get to the breakdown. And let's go to Fialho. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name properly, but let's actually go through his entire, what do you call it, opponents. Okay, he lost to Mohamed Mokaev. I mean, who hasn't? Mohamed Mokaev, and he lost via submission in the third round. Damn. Um, I mean, it's not a bad loss. I mean, Mohamed Mokaev is still undefeated as far as I know currently, even though he's no longer in the UFC for some BS reason. So that's not a bad loss. He then beat Perez. What's his actual full name? Daniel Perez. Yes. I mean, let me actually take a bit of a look at Daniel Perez and see if this is a good win or not. Daniel Perez lost via submission in the third round against Andre Lima. Beat um, Victor Altamirano. Um, lost to Jafel Filho. Okay, okay. They have a common opponent. They've both beaten Daniel Perez, it seems. And then he beat Ode Osborne via submission in the first round. I mean, that's a little bit. That's a decent win, depending on who you're talking to. Let me actually check if Ode Osborne actually won his last fight, because as far as I remember, yes, Ode Osborne actually won his last fight against Gurule, and even the fight before that against the Rodriguez, I think it was pretty close. So I mean, I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't say it's a bad loss. I mean, it's a bad win. I mean, I think it's an actually pretty good win. So both of them have faced the pretty decent competition. So at least that calmed me down a little bit, because I was a little bit worried. So as far as experience, I don't know if I would give either of them any experience advantage, because I feel like both of them have been fighting pretty decent competition. Let me go back to Allan Nascimento and just double check if I'm not being too biased. Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, Tagir Ulanbekov, I think, is a little bit better than anyone um, that Jafel Fialo has fought. But other than that, I genuinely feel like Shoshan McGee, Battle of the Brazilians, I'll go Philo, a little less of a butt scooter. Hey, Shoshan, what happened to you, man? You used to be so sweet, and then you started teaming up with Lord, and then now you're worse than him. Like, what happened to you, dude? Oh my goodness. Anyway, um, so as far as reach, let's get to the breakdown. As far as reach, I don't know. I don't feel like either of them will have a massive reach advantage. I think the difference in reach is going to be like, what do you call it, about 1%. Um, and then as far as finishing ability, I mean Fialho, man, I'm butchering his name. Andre Fialho is significantly better. I think he has a 94% finishing rate. That's insane. That's honestly insane. He's pretty well rounded. He has TKO wins and submission wins, so that's actually pretty decent. And I mean, Allan Nascimento is not too bad as well. He has an 80% finishing rate. I think that's quite impressive. Um, as far as volume, striking volume, I think Allan Nascimento is going to have the advantage in that particular department, but not a massive advantage. But it's still an advantage, and I have to take that into consideration. Defense wise, I would give a slight advantage to Andre Fialho. However, I would basically say more or less they are on the same level as far as striking defense goes. But they are pretty good defensively, in my opinion. So, on the feed, to be honest, let me actually check something. So, on the feed, I think, I don't know, man. I just feel like, what do you call him? Alan Nascimento might have an advantage. Even though 1 inch reach doesn't mean anything, it's the little things for me that I feel like will separate them both. I think Alan Nascimento has a small reach advantage, a small volume advantage. Defensively, obviously, I go with Andre Fialho, but still, on the feed, I don't know. I think Alan Nascimento might have some type. It's not a massive one, but a little bit of an advantage as far as striking goes. And on the ground, I don't know, man. Obviously, I think Andre Fialho is going to be slightly better. I think he has a higher output of takedown attempts, and I think he's a little bit more successful with the takedowns than Alan Nascimento. His takedown defense, both of them have horrible takedown defense. Like, there's no excusing it. I can't say Andre Fialho is better. But in this situation, I think Andre Fialho is a little bit better. So if anyone is going to be taken down easily, it's probably going to be Alan Nascimento. I think offensively, and what do you call him? Jafel Filho. Jafel Filho is going to be better offensively, more submission threads, more takedowns, slightly like equally terrible takedown defense, but more or less, at the very least, a little bit better than Allen Nascimento. I mean, that has to count for something. A little bit more accurate with the takedowns. So, in all honesty, this for me is a coin flip. Shoshot McGee, the Brazilian and the agents have ruined me. Oh my goodness, this flu needs to heal by Saturday. Otherwise, I won't survive the live stream. I can't even laugh right now. um, Shoshot McGee, if Fialho can keep him off his back, he will cook. He will cook on the feet. Okay, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I genuinely feel like Fialho is going to be a little bit better on the ground. Not significantly. Both of them are horrible. Have horrible takedown defense. So I can see Alan Nascimento on his back throughout the entire fight. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I think Jafel Fialho is going to be a little bit better offensively. And because Allan Nascimento is horrible defensively, I think that should be his approach in this particular fight. I think Jafel Filho should wrestle because on the feet it might get a little bit tricky. I can see him losing, being outpointed to a decision, to be honest. But both of them are pretty prolific, so I don't know how I see a decision happening, but that's how I'm seeing this particular fight because I feel like they're so evenly matched that whatever they're good at is going to complement each other, and it's going to come down to the little things. And I just feel like Alan Nascimento on the feed because of the volume, slightly, slightly like higher reach. Like it's a couple of small things that I feel like on the feed the Nascimento might actually get the decision. On the ground, it's the little things. And, Alan Nascimento defensive wrestling. Jafel Filho has decent offensive wrestling. I don't know if I would even call it wrestling, but still, offensively, I would lean more towards Jafel Fialho as opposed to Alan Nascimento on the ground. Especially because Alan Nascimento has horrible takedown defense. So does Jafel Fialho. I mean, both of them are terrible. They're made for each other. So I don't know, man. This is going on the ground. It just feels like it's gonna be a sloppy fight. On the feed, it's gonna be close. So, in all honesty, ask Shoshot McGee for his coin and flip it. You have a better shot at predicting this particular fight. My subscribers and I are going with Jafel Fielho, but I can understand why Alan Nascimento is the favorite in this particular fight. I can honestly understand why Alan Nascimento is the favorite in this particular fight because um, it's a coin flip. On the feet, I feel like he might have a little bit, tiny bit of an advantage. On the ground, I feel like Jafel Fialho is going to be a little bit better. I'm not confident at all. Could go either way. Shoshot McGee, um, if Charles KOs Ilya, um, KOs Ilya, I'll move to Brazil. Shoshot, I mean, it's possible, man. You know, but I'll break this fight down when it comes, but it's still too far away, so maybe I can give my opinion. I don't feel like Ilya Tuporia is that good of a striker. When we talk about good strikers, Jack Della Maddalena is one of the most talented strikers in the UFC. Islam Makhachev, one of the most talented strikers in the UFC. Magomed Ankalaev. I want to say Cyril Gahn, but I don't know if I should say Cyril Gahn. There are a couple of really talented strikers in the UFC, right? Ilya Tuporia gets hit a lot in a lot of his fights, right? And and it's not 155 where he's fighting people like Alexander Volkanovski with volume, where he's fighting Max Holloway, who wins normally by volume. Max Holloway, sure, he knocked out the Korean Zombie and Justin Gaethje back to back, right? But still, I just feel like Ilya Tuporia's striking is a little bit too sloppy, combined with the fact that he's ditching his grappling coaches, but who were seemingly very involved in his what do you call it, his game planning. Right, he's making too many changes. He's moving up a weight class. I think Charles Oliveira might be able to take the shot a little bit better than what Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski were able to. And Max Holloway, by the way, was cutting down from lightweight. So obviously that might have affected his chin, but still, it doesn't matter. Ilya Tuporia loses a lot of his fights up until he knocks you out. Look at the Josh Emmett fight. He won, but it was uncomfortable to watch. Like it was like, Oh, okay, almost, almost. So for me personally, I feel like Charles Oliveira might have a shot. Initially, I didn't think it doesn't have a shot, but when I consider a couple of elements, Ilya Tuporia is short, so even though he's stocky, Charles Oliveira has had experience against Michael Chandler, who is a power puncher, and obviously the main advantage that what do you call him, Ilya Tuporia has is his pressure. Charles Oliveira's wrestling has been improving. I don't know, man. I'll see when I break down the fight, but I don't know if Ilya Tuporia is going to win that fight. Shoshat McGee Filio might get outpointed, but if he makes it a scrap, he will take over, and he usually does make it messy. I hope so, man, and I hope he takes it to the ground because I think that's where he's going to win. Shoshat McGee coin flip only wins half the time. FYI. Bodo has that coin, man. I mean, this fight is gonna be really close. Zico, I love you, my brother. I love you. I love you like my KFC. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Um, may make his free baby oil. What? Rene the Rizlord's friend has joined the chat. Rene the Rizlord, what's your opinion on Merab versus Sean 2? Who wins and how confident are you? Uh, it's a tricky one, right? Because it feels like Merab has gotten the Bilal Muhammad rub, you know? Because I've been hearing him say he's going to strike with Sean O'Malley. That's the first problem that I have. Number two, Sean O'Malley was doing pretty decently. I heard them making excuses about why he lost. He lost that fight definitely, but Sean O'Malley, and I've been saying this for a while, there are three people who've performed well against Merab Devalishvili. At number one is Umar Nomagomedov. He's by far the person who's come really close to beating Merab Devalishvili. Right? They were separated by the final round, in my opinion. Right? Second is Jose Aldo, because Merab was just holding him there. He wasn't doing anything. But Jose Aldo was successful in defending takedowns, um, although he wasn't doing much. And then third is Sean O'Malley, in my opinion. There aren't that many people that I feel like have performed as well against Merab. I feel like if Sean O'Malley went back and basically worked on his takedown defense, worked on his cardio, I think Sean O'Malley has a shot. I honestly think Sean O'Malley, there's a possibility, there's a realm, especially because Merab is getting up there in age. There's a realm of possibility where I see Sean O'Malley actually gets it done. But it depends on his camp, right? I need to take a look at his camp, what he's been doing. But it seems like Sean O'Malley has taken this camp significantly seriously because he's off social media. As far as I know, that has never happened in Sean O'Malley's entire career, as far as I know. So Sean O'Malley is off social media, which means he's been focusing on his training camp. So I'm hoping and I think he's going to address a lot of the problems that he's had. And with the experience of knowing how it feels to be in the octagon with Mirab Devalishvili, I don't know, man. I just feel like Sean O'Malley is one of the few people who've done decently, even though he lost. It was decent enough for me to say there's if he can improve even by 20 or 30%, there's a shot he's going to win that fight. And I think Sean O'Malley, with the changes that he's making, unofficially, I'm leaning towards Sean O'Malley. I'm not confident at all in this particular pick, unofficially though. Um, yeah, I still need to do a lot more research. After I do research, my opinion might change, but as I stand right now, looking at everything, I feel like Sean O'Malley has a shot. So yeah, Shoshan McGee, Popeye is where it's. Shoshan McGee, Zico, a chicken rookie. What? Shoshan McGee, I think Sean might take it. But Rob is getting old, man. Time always win. Old man time always win. Yeah, thank you, Shoshan McGee. That's one of the things that I was also thinking about. I'm not confident, but I feel like Sean O'Malley has a shot at winning this one. Renee Dereslot, I'm seriously, I'm sensing a O'Malley robbery or close decision based on a few big shots. Yeah, that's highly possible. Tweezy, Rich, welcome to the stream. You haven't been joining the streams recently, man. Hope you're good. Shoshan McGee, that's what I'm thinking. UFC clearly wants him to be champ. Yeah, I can see a robbery as well. Um, Rastamov, hello from Russia. What up, man? Welcome to the stream, my guy. Rene the Rizlord. Apparently, O'Malley had a hip fracture or injury that affected his takedown defense. Yeah, I heard that, but like I said, it's excuses up until we see the performance in the next fight. Shoshan McGee, it was just a torn labrum. I had a torn labrum for 2 years. It's all about how big the tear was. Rene the Rizlord. But even that, even then, Mirab had the stuff and was eating Indian street food before that fight. Shot at Mickey. Yeah, I mean Mirab is a machine. Like that's an appropriate name for him. Apparently, he has a toe injury right now, which is insane. But yeah, maybe I'll do a stream just to have a conversation with you guys. I've made this stream longer than it has to be, and it's a breakdown for Andre Filho and Allan Nascimento, and we're talking about. You know what? I promise you guys, starting from now on, because I can see that I think there's a couple of you that join the stream more frequently now. From now on, from now on, I'm going to start doing the stream where I reply to comments only. Right? We'll just talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. I'll see when I'm going to do them. They are either going to be on Friday or Saturday. So yeah, I promise you guys I'm going to start doing the Friday or Saturday. Just replying to your comments. I'll just pick out an initial topic that I want to talk about, and then you guys can just join in, and then we can have a random conversation. But this particular breakdown is not the place for it. We'll talk properly Friday or Saturday. Officially, I promise you guys, we'll start doing a stream just to respond to you. Like only. I'm not going to be doing anything except responding to comments. And then we can talk about absolutely anything that you guys want to talk about. Until tomorrow, I'm going to be breaking down a couple of, I think, 3 more fights tomorrow. I have flu, but even if it means I have to cough on the stream, I'm coming. I'm coming back tomorrow. Rene the Rizlord, Mirabs is immune to injuries, in my opinion. What the Charlotte McGee, but he need gas, and that's the first thing to go with age. Yeah, look at Kobe Covington. Kobe Covington was the cardio guy, and he doesn't look like he used to. Even though he was terrible in the past, but I mean he's worse now. Cardio, Shoshan McGee, I agree with you. Cardio is the first thing to go with age. Guys, I love and appreciate all of you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, deuces. Leandro, blink twice if you're held hostage. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Deuces. I'll see you guys tomorrow.